The decision of the Conservative government of Stephen Harper, then of the Liberals of Justin Trudeau, to buy F-35s, demonstrates Canada's intention to conduct an interventionist foreign policy and to engage Canada militarily alongside the Americans and NATO to bomb all over the world. Canada does not need F-35s unless it wants to join in the American war adventures of the next decades, when Washington risks starting wars to maintain their rank as the world's leading economic and military power. Worse still, the F-35s are complex technologies, which cannot adapt to the rustic conditions of combat over the Pacific Ocean. The F-35s do not have the autonomy to travel the necessary distances in order to monitor the Canadian North or to go and fight in the Pacific near China, without having the obligation to add additional external fuel tanks, which makes them lose their only advantage, which is their false stealth, which is the main selling point. They cannot maintain supersonic speed for very long, and will become easy targets to shoot down since they will be visible, and the F-35 can carry up only 6 air-to-air missiles internally. The United States expects Canada, like its other NATO allies, to acquire F-35s, which offer full software and hardware compatibility with American aviation, making our aviation the Air Force United States Auxiliary. This is the con-trap in which Justin Trudeau got us stuck, being part of the Five Eyes, NATO and NORAD.
The truth is that the F-35 can only use its sophisticated and stealthy communication system with other F-35s, but with no other American planes, boats, and devices, without having to lose its pseudo-stealth and use standard radio waves, which are detectable. But Canada will pay a price out of control to buy its flying lemons, which are useless but forced by the political and military pressure of the USA. The aircraft that will replace our current F-18s will have two very different missions. As part of the NORAD agreements, Canada needs an interceptor combat aircraft to stop potential invaders from Russia or China. You need an agile aircraft, able to cover great distances quickly, close to Mach 2 speed in the Canadian far north and withstand the harsh conditions of the Canadian north. It absolutely does not correspond to the description of the capabilities of the F-35.
A stealth fighter that can't defend our Arctic, a stealth fighter that's not actually stealth, but I can tell you, for Canadian taxpayers, it'll be a nightmare. The F-35 does not meet Canada's requirements. Our new fighter jets do meet Canada's requirements, so that we can guarantee good jobs for our aerospace industries, and so the costs don't skyrocket.
Within the framework of NATO agreements, UN missions, and other missions. Instead, Canada needed a fighter bomber that could approach enemy territory undetected and could accurately drop large quantities of bombs. Again, the F-35 is a miserable failure and can only carry 6 air-to-air missiles internally. Canada is therefore buying planes for the needs of NATO and the United States, but not having the necessary capabilities to defend Canada. These planes are not necessary for the defense of Canada. The F-35 is not an aircraft intended to ensure the air defense of our territory. What we need is a real interceptor to succeed the F-18 in its role of air defense of the territory, which is both very fast and agile. The F-35 cannot maintain supersonic speed. The future of military aviation is on the side of robot planes, drones, which can ensure the surveillance of the territory.
If Canada bombs other countries with F-35s under the orders of the Americans and NATO, we can expect to receive bombs on Canada one day. The F-35 is constantly grounded in maintenance. If the F-35 can't take off and fly the necessary distances when needed, it's a waste of money. If you can only use the F-35 sparingly and in defined circumstances, what good is it? Under pressure from the United States and NATO, Justin Trudeau made the crazy commitment to buy 88 F-35 planes from Lockheed Martin. Its planes are a design failure, flying turkeys with out-of-control costs and endless technical issues, which have constant maintenance and design problems. Capricious planes that do not meet Canada's needs. They alone should gobble up most of Canada's defense budget. In truth, except for attack missions with the Allies, it is very difficult to see what military advantages Canada can derive from purchasing F-35s. From an economic point of view, the direct profits of Canadian companies are anemic in comparison with the sums invested. Ottawa's decision to buy F-35s demonstrates its intention to have the capacity to engage militarily, alongside Americans everywhere in the world.
It would be better to invest entirely in Canada, to update all the equipment of the Canadian Army. Canada will have the obligation to buy American, deny its independence, and it will be the Americans who will have control. We will have to ensure that we develop an armament policy, capable of sufficiently ensuring Canada's security independently, by having an army strong enough to protect Canada, and ensure Canadian economic diversity that will not be handcuffed or endangered by U.S. geopolitics, its economy, its military industry, its sanctions, or an extreme dependence that turns Canada into a servant of the United States. Thank you for watching our video and subscribe to our channel.